As you can appreciate, there's a lot of businesses finding it challenging at the moment. The fruits of 2020, 2021, 2022, and early parts of 2023 have well and truly shriveled up. And that's making it harder on business. I feel in a funny place because as a CFO, I actually feel like we earn our keep during this period. There's actually something quite mentally stimulating about this period of time. Even though we want our clients to do really, really well and to succeed, there is also something about the challenge of working through that process as opposed to when you're rocking up when they're doing awesome numbers and kind of patting them on the back and going, hey, keep it up. Over the last 6 months in particular with clients that are working through challenging times, we've developed a very simple framework and a reference point to get the team focused on where they need to go and what they need to do. This is from a leadership perspective, but then the message gets distributed down to all the respective team members within the business. I'm going to share these 5 steps with you and then how you can apply them in the business. The first step is communication. There has to be a consistent cadence of communication. Say that quickly. Ideally, it's through a daily huddle or something like that, where each team member checks in on a handful of simple metrics, such as what did they say they were going to do yesterday and whether they did it, what are they going to do today, and what's expected of them in that day. So what I might think I need to do in that day versus what is expected might be 2 different things. But all of a sudden you've got a daily check-in. If, for example, I'm trying to lose weight and I have to tell somebody every single day what I ate, that's going to be far more effective than at the end of the week going, oh yeah, and you suddenly forget the thing you had at Sunday lunch or the thing you had at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. Having that daily cadence of communication is absolutely crucial during this period of time. It's good business practice anyway, but particularly during a challenging time. Now, I've said 5 steps, but I call 1A the first part, communication, and 1B is the scorecard. So in that same time, when you have the daily huddles, what is the scorecard you're referring to? Now, naturally, sales and operations have the easiest scorecards. I don't mean easiest in terms of easiest to achieve, I mean easiest to measure. What did we sell yesterday and what did we get out the door yesterday? So often referred to as sales in and sales out. But what about other departments in your business? Your finance team should have daily targets. What work are they going to complete? What's your marketing team going to do? Those core areas. Also, if there's any product development that you're doing, what is the landmarks that they need to be achieving on a daily basis? Even if they're working on bigger projects, and that doesn't matter what sector of the business it is, if they're working on bigger projects, they should be able to at least say, hey, we're on track to get this completed by Thursday next week, which was an agreed upon time frame everyone thought was fair. Making sure you're staying on top of that. So 1A is the daily communication. 1B is what's the scorecard you're referring to ensure that your communication and achievement are consistent with one another. The third ingredient is looking at what work can we bring forward. Is there any work that we currently have ready to go, but we might not need to deliver it for a month, 6 weeks, 2 months? Now, I understand as an accountant, that sounds really counterintuitive because you ideally want to complete work the moment it's needed. You don't want to have just stock sitting there or work in progress, even in a service business, building up, and you're not going to invoice it for a period of time. However, if you're happy to take on that risk associated with it, it does help with the next few steps that we've got through this process. So trying to bring whatever work forward that you can. The 4th step is doing the work in the same efficiency as what you've always done. We've seen this a lot when there's hands-on businesses in particular. What I mean by hands-on is construction, manufacturing, or distribution businesses where you've got to pick it up off the shelf and dispatch it, is that individual might only have 5 hours worth of work. But as you would have heard in previous videos, one of my favorite cliches is, do people squeeze 5 hours of work into an 8-hour day? If that is the case, if they've been given tasks in their daily communication that take 5 hours, the expectation is that managers make sure they get the work done in 5 hours. Don't drag it out into 8 hours, because that then leads to the final step of the process, which is hard decisions. If you've brought all the work forward that you can, and your team is running just as efficiently as what they always have, but your scorecard says that your business level going forward is going to be here, but your break even is up here, you're going to have to make tough decisions. And the tough decisions being, am I happy to eat into my equity, being the gap between what my break even is and what my actual revenue is going to be? Or do I need to let people go? Do I need to reduce investments in a certain area? Do I need to restructure the business model to make it more financially viable? And that's why we call it hard decisions. That is not an easy thing to do, choosing a loyal team member versus financials versus if I lose that team member, then maybe win the work again in 3 months' time, are they going to be available when I look for them again in 3 months' time? Balancing the probabilities, because that's what you're dealing with at the moment. You're dealing with nothing definitive. You're balancing probabilities and making the best decision you possibly can with the information you have available to you. So these are the 5 steps. 1 or 1A is daily and consistent communication. 2 or 1B is what's the scorecard we're referring to in that daily communication. Number 3, what work can we bring forward? Number 4, ensuring we're completing the work as efficiently as we always have, hitting our targets in our efficiency. And then number 5, hard decisions may need to be made.